How many years have you been with the Northwestern crew now?
This is my 13th year on the Northwestern.
A company offered me a job running a boat. And I'm freaked out about it. I'm so scared about it. I've never been so scared in my life. I'm scared as hell to leave.
Just a few months ago, the Alaskan Sea claimed yet another life, Captain Jake Anderson from Deadliest Catch. This series captures the harsh and dangerous world of crab fishing in the icy, unforgiving waters of the Bering Sea. The show has pulled in viewers with its scenes of wild waves and extreme cold. But underneath the dramatic visuals, there's a deeper story, one filled with pain and tragedy. Let's uncover the sad reality behind the loss of such a well-loved captain. Deadliest Catch stands out in a sea of reality shows filled with drama and love stories. It shows the harsh and risky life of fishermen like no other. For 20 years, it has kept people watching by focusing on the real and dangerous job of catching crab in the stormy, freezing Bering Sea. But behind all the footage of freezing weather and crashing waves is a much heavier story, one about sacrifice and suffering among people living close to the edge. What caused these painful events? And how did the captains and their crews manage to survive in such brutal conditions for so long? As the storm intensified, Captain John looked out over the endless sea, his thoughts weighed down by a tough decision. The show gives us a real look at how ruthless the waters off Alaska can be, including the tragic loss of Captain Jake Anderson. Even though it may seem like these fishermen are completely isolated in the open ocean, they're actually surrounded by other boats. In truth, many vessels are out there at the same time, all fighting to get to the best crab spots first. No one wants to come up short. Jake Anderson doesn't appear in any on-screen competition on the Discovery Channel, but he's faced some very real battles, both at sea and in his personal life. The risk involved in his job is serious. Every trip out means there's a chance he may not return. But what he's dealt with in life goes even deeper than the threats from the ocean. Jake has struggled with addiction and spent 2 years without a home. He's also endured devastating losses in his family. During Season 5, he got the heartbreaking news that his sister had passed away. Just a year after that, while still working at sea, he found out his father had disappeared. Later, his father's body was discovered inside a truck. But the pain didn't stop there. Joshua Tell Warner, another cast member on Deadliest Catch, also had a troubled past that caught up with him. Despite being involved in several bank robberies, Warner still joined the show, hoping to do what was best for the boat. "That was the best decision for the boat," he said. "But for my own goals, like getting a boat, it didn't work out." He became part of the cast in 2009 and quickly gained attention. But his criminal record, linked to robberies in 2007 and 2009, eventually caught up with him. Thanks to his appearance on the show, law enforcement was able to track him down. He was arrested in 2010 and later sentenced to 9.5 years in prison, ending his time on screen. Then there's Captain Sig Hansen, one of the most recognized faces from Deadliest Catch since its premiere on April 12, 2005. He's been a main figure on the show and has also appeared in spin-offs like After the Catch and The Bait. Born on April 28, 1966, in Seattle, Washington, Sig seemed destined for life at sea. He started fishing at age 14 and learned the trade on his family's boat. Long before reality TV was a thing, Sig was already preparing for his role on the Northwestern. He became captain at just 24 and led his family into fame in the crab fishing world of Alaska. But his story didn't stop there. As the leader of the Hansen family today, Sig has guided his team and also mentored younger captains like Jake Anderson and Sean Dwyer. His daughter, Mandy Hansen, now carries on the family tradition as the 5th generation of fishers. She even named her daughter after the sea, showing just how deeply connected the family is to their fishing roots. Still, challenges continue. And while the cameras might make it all look exciting, the real stories behind the scenes are often much harder. The ocean holds many stories that never get told, and Sig Hansen's life is one of them. Sig Hansen's legacy and what comes next. Sig Hansen, a longtime fisherman, might soon be part of a new chapter as the 6th generation in his family prepares to step into the world of fishing. Deadliest Catch has already shown many of the major events in Sig's life, including his heart attack and the pain of losing close friends. One unforgettable moment was when deckhand Clark Peterson proposed to Mandy on the show. But there are a few things about Captain Sig that only the most loyal fans would know. The Hansen family holds a unique place in the fishing world. Sig's father and grandfather were among the first to catch opilio crab, also called snow crab, in the untouched waters of the Bering Sea. Their efforts opened up a whole new season for the entire fleet. Today, Deadliest Catch continues to document these difficult seasons, covering king crab, Bardi crab, and the demanding opilio crab runs. Sig's grandfather, S. Hansen, along with his father Sverre, whom Sig was named after, left Koroy, Norway, and moved to America in 1958. Their goal was simple: to keep fishing and provide for their family. That drive paid off, especially during the opilio crab seasons, bringing strong financial success not just to Sig, but to many others in the fleet as well. Watching this young girl on deck, trying her best to keep pace with men who've been doing this for years, was something to see. But in Season 6, things took a heartbreaking turn. Captain Phil Harris had a stroke, but he still insisted that filming should continue. He was fully aware of how serious his condition was, but he wanted his experience to be documented. The cameras kept rolling even as he was flown to a hospital. After undergoing emergency surgery in Anchorage, Alaska, he later died due to a second brain hemorrhage. His loss left a deep impact on his family, crew, and fans. That wasn't the only danger involved. The Deadliest Catch film crew also faces serious risks. They spend up to 5 weeks at sea, enduring the same harsh conditions as the fishermen. They live and work in the same tight quarters, dealing with the same physical strain, without the breaks most reality show crews would typically have. This long 6-month shoot creates a strong sense of teamwork between the fishing crews and the production staff. Unlike many other fishing crews, the ones on Deadliest Catch don't have the usual quotas or penalties for underperformance. Most fisheries penalize boats for catching too little, but this isn't the case here. This setup shifts some focus from making profits to making the show, and sometimes even influences crab market prices. But natural elements present even bigger problems. One example was the supermoon in 2018. It created powerful tidal forces, making already rough seas even more dangerous. Captains like Jake Anderson and Wild Bill expressed concern, knowing full well how risky those conditions made their jobs. The supermoon was just one example. Sudden storms and shifting weather patterns often make the job even more dangerous. These conditions are a constant reminder that the people on these boats are always at risk, working in a setting where nature has the upper hand. It's becoming clear that the changing climate is affecting the crabbing industry. As Alaska's waters continue to warm, crabs are migrating to different areas. Fishermen now have to travel farther into deeper, more hazardous waters to find them. These remote locations bring stronger storms and make emergency help harder to reach, raising the danger level significantly. The main director of Deadliest Catch has said that these changes are being felt by everyone involved in the production. While the show tries to stay out of political debates, the impact of reality and on-screen drama continues to blend, especially behind the scenes. The staged side of Deadliest Catch. Some viewers believe the show stages parts of the action, while others think it captures events exactly as they happen. In truth, several scenes are filmed multiple times, just like in other reality shows. The riskiest moments are usually captured in a single take, but many other shots are redone to meet production standards. This editing process can sometimes make the show feel a bit less genuine. Some say added drama is used to boost the entertainment factor, much like other reality series. And that's not the only criticism. In the most recent season, Alaskan workers earned under $7,000. The king crab season, which happens each fall in Alaskan and international waters, involves crabs being caught far beyond state borders. Although the catch is shared globally, local Alaskans working on the show received less than $7,000 total, according to the Alaska Film Office. Meanwhile, non-resident crew members earned a combined $1.3 million. This was based on a state-approved film subsidy application, involving 8 Alaskan crew members and 35 workers from outside the state. For Season 8 of the show, which received a large amount of public support for TV and film production, the producers were awarded nearly $691,000 in state incentives. Out of the total budget, $285,000 went toward shipping and transport within Alaska, and $231,000 was spent on food and accommodations. In contrast, Alaska residents earned just $44,000 during Season 7, while non-residents brought in $13 million. That season, the show received $786,000 in subsidies from the state. But the most significant change came after 2005, when the catch share system was introduced. This system slowed down the pace of crab fishing, which led to a sharp drop in accidents. Before this system, hundreds of boats would race into the Bering Sea during the short and chaotic winter crab seasons. Now, each vessel gets a set quota and a longer time frame to fish, which has made things a lot safer. Still, crab fishing in Alaska remains incredibly risky. Its fatality rate is estimated to be around 80 times higher than most other jobs. On average, one crab fisherman dies every week during the season. Experienced crabber Bill Prout from Kodiak has witnessed these changes over the years. He says being able to wait for safer weather has likely saved many lives. Lance Farr, a third-generation crabber based in Seattle, agrees. He pointed out that sleep deprivation, which used to be a major issue, is no longer a problem thanks to the slower pace introduced by the catch share system. Veteran Captain Cale Garcia also observed the changes, pointing out that while the show still needs dramatic moments to keep viewers interested, crabbing in the Bering Sea has shifted from being one of the most dangerous jobs to becoming one of the safest fisheries around. But even with these safety improvements, there's more happening behind the scenes. The crab fishing industry in the Bering Sea is now more united, forming a group known as the Alaska Bering Sea Crabbers. This organization brings together all crab fisheries across the Bering Sea and the Aleutian Islands, helping them collaborate better and strengthen their negotiating power. Depending on where you watch Deadliest Catch, you might notice a different narrator telling the story. In the U.S., Mike Rowe provides the voiceover. In the UK, it's Bill Patterson, and in Malaysia, it's Nasir Balir. This change in narration helps make the show feel more relatable to different audiences across the world. And judging by the show's popularity globally, this approach seems to work well. The cameras don't just show the rough sea, they also reveal the personal struggles of the crew members. Filming Deadliest Catch is incredibly difficult. Many cameras get damaged or lost while filming due to the harsh sea conditions. The production team has become skilled at capturing the right shots by waiting patiently for just the right moments. Each season, they end up with around 30,000 hours of footage, giving editors a massive job of creating the most engaging stories. Salt water and heavy winds often cause equipment failure, making filming even harder. The show also tends to present a clear villain. The producers purposely create storylines that show conflict between the crabbers, almost like a good versus bad dynamic, even though all of them are essentially working toward the same thing. This method keeps viewers hooked by giving them someone to root for or against. A lot of planning goes into selecting the cast and building this kind of tension for entertainment. One of the more intense storylines involved the Hillstrand brothers. Their growing popularity on Deadliest Catch led to a spin-off opportunity in 2010 called Hillstranded. At first, it seemed like a great deal, but editing issues turned into a legal dispute with the Discovery Channel. The disagreement escalated into a $3 million lawsuit. Eventually, the Hillstrand brothers and another captain, Sig Hansen, ended up leaving the network. Another key figure from the show, Captain Elliot Neese, also gained attention for his unpredictable behavior during his 5 seasons. When he suddenly disappeared in season 11, many fans were left wondering why. It was later revealed that Neese had been dealing with addiction and had entered rehab. While he was able to stay clean for a while, his issues resurfaced, leading to his arrest in 2022 on drug-related charges. He is expected to be released in mid-2024. But Neese's story didn't end there. His struggle with addiction is just one example of the personal battles some people face after being on reality TV. He became involved in a large drug trafficking operation based in the Kenai Peninsula, mainly dealing in heroin. As of now, the exact sentence Neese might face is uncertain. Some reports suggest he could receive anywhere from 5 to 40 years in prison. Lately, Neese hasn't said much about his legal troubles online. Still, some of his followers may find comfort in knowing that his situation hasn't completely hit a dead end. One of the show's directors also passed away under unusual circumstances. Deadliest Catch, aired on the Discovery Channel, got its name from the high risks that crab fishermen face. Over time, several crew members and even entire vessels have been lost, including fan favorite Captain Phil Harris. A particularly tragic case was that of Joseph McMahon, a director from the show, who was shot near his home after going outside to check on a suspicious noise. The person responsible later took their own life. Another sad story was that of Nick McGlashan from the Summer Bay, who died following a long battle with addiction. Nick had been fishing since he was 13 years old, but ultimately passed away from an overdose in a hotel room in Nashville at age 33. His passing deeply affected Captain Bill and Nick's sister Lydia, both of whom shared their grief publicly. Then there was Todd Cooten, another crew member whose fate upset fans. In the final episode of Season 16, it was revealed that he had died in an accident aboard the FV Patricia Lee, leaving viewers and the crew heartbroken. Life on the water isn't easy, and this part of the story shows the emotional toll it can take. Another concern is the cost of fishing licenses, but this isn't even the biggest issue. The process of getting a license in Alaska isn't as complicated as the show might suggest. On TV, it might look like every crabber is highly skilled, but that's not always the case. A license costs about $200 in Alaska and doesn't require any special training. This setup may work for dramatic storytelling, but it's risky if someone doesn't have real experience. Captain Sig Hansen, another familiar face from the series, also faced serious health issues recently. He suffered a second heart attack. Even for someone used to dangerous conditions at sea, this was a frightening experience. At the start of Season 15, he revealed that he had previously suffered a minor heart attack, something he had kept from his crew. At 52, Sig shared with Entertainment Weekly that the incident happened back in October while he was taking antibiotics. The medication caused his body to swell up. Sig was driving through Seattle with a friend, rushing to get to the hospital. When he arrived, a nurse gave him an EpiPen in an effort to stabilize him, but it didn't work as expected. Sig, best known from the Discovery Channel show, immediately experienced chest pain. Tests revealed that his blood levels were dangerously low. He was having a heart attack. And this wasn't his first. Sig had also suffered a heart attack in 2016 while filming Deadliest Catch aboard the Northwestern. When fans found out he had another one just 3 years later, they were deeply concerned. Many even urged him to step away from life on the Northwestern. Even though these incidents were serious, Sig seems to have changed his perspective on life. But he isn't ready to say goodbye to his time at sea just yet. These days, his daughter Mandy leads the Northwestern. Still, Sig told TV Insider that being part of the show has become second nature to him. The medical emergencies were wake-up calls, but not enough to keep him off the water. But Sig's situation wasn't the only one that caught attention. Freddie, also known as Freddie Gauthier, went through his own set of issues. Freddie had dreams of becoming a cage fighter, but things took a turn in 2011 when he got into a fight with a couple. According to TMZ, Freddie said he was only defending himself, but he was still arrested, even after those claims were later proven false. That wasn't the end of his problems. He ended up losing his fishing job for a completely separate reason, related to missing delivery schedules. In that line of work, once you call in your start time, the clock begins. Delays aren't taken lightly. Maybe if Freddie had spent more time training, he could have chased a real boxing career, perhaps even facing off with sea creatures like sharks, or jokingly, even the Kraken. Things didn't go much better for Elliot either. He's not the most liked figure among fans. While many reality stars build strong connections with their audience, Elliot seems to push them away. As a cast member on Deadliest Catch, Elliot is often seen as the show's villain. Though he denies this, his interactions on social media haven't done much to change public opinion. In 2015, an online campaign began with the goal of getting him removed from the show. A lot of people felt he was being shown in a negative light. Despite that, very few were willing to hear his side of the story. When it comes to personal life, Maria keeps things more private. What is known is that she dated fellow fisherman Ryan McDonald for over a year. Their relationship ended around the time she joined Deadliest Catch. Thankfully, she later found happiness again with Mark Schwantes, who also shares her love for the outdoors. What's your take on how reality stars handle privacy? Elliot and Maria take very different approaches, but who do you think manages fame better? Let us know in the comments, hit like, and don't forget to subscribe for more.